Okay, so this is the first problem that I'm going to do for Chapter 8. Chapter 8 is risk and return. So our goal is to have the highest return with the lowest risk. So we achieve that through diversification, adding additional investments. The easiest way to achieve diversification is to purchase an index fund. So we can buy any number of stocks with one purchase. So, but anyway, so in problem 8.3, we're asked to calculate the expected return and standard deviation and coefficient of variation. And the coefficient of variation is simply risk divided by expected return. So standard deviation divided by expected return. We're given the table below. I've entered it into Excel. And one of the things that I do is I enter the returns or payoffs as whole numbers. You can enter them as percents. You end up having to do more formatting if you do it that way. So we have our probabilities are 20%, 70%, and 10%. Respective returns are 19%, 9%, and 4%. To calculate our expected return, we simply take the probability and multiply it. That's a star key. And so in the 20% probability of a 3.8% return, or 20% probability of a 19% return. So we multiply all three of these and add them up. I simply go down in the corner here, get the little cross, and I can drag it down. And I just put a sum here. It'll automatically highlight the numbers that are above it. So my expected return is 10.5%. So now to calculate the variance, I simply take the probability. So I'm going to calculate the individual variance for each state, and then we're going to sum them. So it's the probability times the payoff minus the expected return overall. So then function F4, I make that absolute, and then I need to square that. And then if I can get my little square here, or not cross there. So I get 20.25 from my standard deviation, from a variance. Now my standard deviation is the square root, so equals SQRT. And I just highlight that. The other thing I can do is I can simply take the variance, and use the caret again and take it to the 1/2 power. That is the same thing as the square root. So 4.5%. So now my coefficient of variation is simply my standard deviation divided by my expected return. So when we talk about the coefficient of variation, lower is better. So higher is less desired. So 0.43 is the coefficient of variation for this portfolio with these payoffs.